Hey guys, well, another year is upon us, and I wanted to give something kind of reminiscent of a State of the Union address as far as this channel is concerned. I apologize for, you know, not using a mic and everything. I'm in the middle right now of kind of rearranging my studio and everything in order to be able to give a different, maybe better camera shots since I'm limited to just the cell phone camera that I'm currently using to make this video. And I don't have the money to be able to get a second camera right now, or probably for a while too, because cameras are ridiculously expensive. Again, I apologize for kind of how raw this video is. The whole point though is I want to just take a quick minute and give an update for the channel. And I've got some notes here. The weird lighting on my face is from my laptop, but I just want to give a quick update for the channel and just kind of the overall direction that I'm wanting to take this channel over the course of the year and into the future. So obviously drum covers are going to continue, both the Christian music and also the mainstream music that I've done. I've not done much of it right now, but I will be adding more to that. Country covers. I might even throw in a little bit of rock here and there. It's not the main focus though. I've been enjoying playing those just to kind of mess around and have fun. And, I'm not going to record something that I don't think is necessarily appropriate for the channel. Luke Bryan songs that I've already covered aside. That one I just had too much fun playing, and I just wanted to share that with everyone. But only a few of you have watched it, so I guess it doesn't really matter. Those kinds of songs, like I said, I cover them. They're for fun, but they're not the main focus of the channel. The main focus of the drum covers, at least, was, and always will be covering Christian music. I only started covering the country songs and the one Osmond song that I've done so far. I only started doing stuff like that back when I was looking to get gigs down in the Broadway scene. I live in the Nashville area. Country music is kind of big up here, in case you didn't know. So, in an effort to just, maybe get away from my current job and just find any sort of work in the music industry, I was looking to expand my options. Nowadays, it's not as much of a priority as it was, but I still like to play some of that stuff for fun because I'm a lover of music. And as much as I, will mock country music, there are some fun songs to be had and enjoyed in there as well. So, and I've played a couple of them so far, and I have a whole bunch more that I want to play in addition to everything. And also to add some variety to the channel as well. I'm sorry, my hat is really, the shadow from my hat is just really, maybe I should just do this. Sorry, the shadow from the bill of my hat was just bothering me. But anyway, I thought about making a sister channel for those types of drum covers, and I still might. For right now, everything is just going to be kind of lumped together. And I've got plenty of songs to cover. On the Christian side of things alone, I have enough drum covers to get me through all of 2023 and, well into 24 and everything. And that's just doing the Christian covers. So I've got plenty of stuff to keep me occupied, and more music is getting released every day, more than I could possibly keep up with. And any rock music, and I was going to start to allude to this earlier, any rock music that I cover, always is going to have to be given a bit more scrutiny before it might be a fun song to play, but is it really something that I should play for the channel? More times than not, maybe not. Kind of the way it is. Not saying that there won't ever be. Again, though, not the focus of the channel. My goal ever since this channel's existence has always been to honor God with the talents that He's given me, and that is not going to change at all. That having been said, though, I do feel like this channel could be doing more than just playing and recommending Christian music back in the days when I would do album reviews. That didn't really go anywhere, and I know there's still one person out there who hopes that I do those again, shout out to you. You know who you are. By and large, they're not very popular. If I ever do anything sort of music recommendation again, I've played with the idea of maybe doing lists. If you guys like that idea, maybe I can start putting that into works. But for right now, that nothing like that's coming out. No. What I'm talking about though is I feel like this channel needs to do more in edifying my brothers and sisters out there, as well as people who have not yet come to know Yeshua as the Messiah. Something that has been on my mind in recent weeks is to begin studying the Bible on this channel, and sharing some of the things that the Lord has taught me over the last few years. Much of it I've learned from other people, whether I've personally met them or not, through their books and through their teaching series online and stuff like that. It's just, I've had plenty of people helping me on my journey, and now I want to do the same for other people. It's not good if those things that I've learned just sit with me and are not being passed along to other people. It's not benefiting me. It's not benefiting you at all. And so that being said, I don't claim to hold all the answers as far as the Bible is concerned. The Bible is so complex, but yet it's also so simple too. And it's just A, I'm doing my part to help serve other people, but also B, I feel like another voice proclaiming the truth of what the Bible really says is sorely needed in this generation. And if no one else is going to step up to do it, then it might as well be me, no matter how qualified I am. And let me tell you, I'm not qualified. I don't consider myself a top Bible scholar by any stretch of the imagination. To be perfectly honest with you, I don't even consider myself a worthy teacher to teach the Word of God. I am a sinner just like the rest of the people who are watching this video are. If I let my faults stop me from doing something that I believe that the Lord is calling me to do, or if I wait until I get myself corrected, well then I'll never be ready. I'll never be worthy or anything like that. And that's just not reality. But I also don't want to keep on doing nothing either, hiding my light under a bushel, as one might say. So, I just don't want to do that anymore. So, though they won't be as frequent as my, as anything else that I put out on this channel will be, the reason that they won't be as frequent is because I still want to make sure that I'm delivering quality, for lack of a better word, quality teaching, if you will. But something that is above all else truthful and of the Spirit, So I'll be, thoroughly going over something before I put it out on the channel, because there's a lot of accountability that comes with the things that you teach people, right? So I'll be going over things very strenuously before I start talking about them. Overall, I'm really excited about this, because I think this will be good for me. This will be good for you, because I know many of you who haven't heard the words that I would love to share with you. I know that you need them as much as I needed them when I was in your spot. I don't count myself as anything special for having learned them. I'm someone who wants to just share with people the things that I learned that have led me to where I am today, and things that I believe are what the Holy Spirit is trying to teach his people. Again, I look forward to this so much, to be able to serve all of you in a greater capacity than what I am currently doing. Keep saying I'm not going to ramble on about stuff, but I'm rambling on. More to come as the year progresses. One last thing I want to talk about real quick is Winter Jam. The tour is almost upon us. At the time of this video, it is about a week, maybe less than a week away from kicking off. We're so close. And I just want to really quickly, I want to go over the lineup and talk about if you should go or not. So really quick, The pre-jam party looks pretty good overall. In fact, since I actually did some research and listened to these people's songs ahead of time, I feel more confident rather about this pre-jam party than I have in years past. Last year was surprisingly really good. I liked every single person. Every single person that showed up was awesome. Bayside Worship's "We Will Never Stop" is quickly becoming one of my favorite up-tempo praise songs in recent years. So check that out. But anyway, as far as this year is concerned, I actually recognized a name in the pre-jam party for once. Thrive Worship is going to be there. They have some pretty good. They have some pretty good music. They're kind of like, you know, your typical church band or whatever, but you know, they got some good stuff. And I was just, it's nice to see somebody in the pre-jam party that I recognize for a change. Usually that kind of stuff is reserved for up-and-coming artists, which is great. But every once in a while, having someone who is newer but still has a little bit more of a veteran presence kind of help build up into the show. And then you get into the main show where the person who's opening is that newer artist that is considered the opening act, but they have even more veterancy to them, but anyway, that's getting into booking talk. Anyway, we got also in the pre-jam party, we've got Sean B, and I think that's how you say his name. I'm assuming that's how you say his name. And then Renee. So real quick, Sean B, going into it, I thought he was going to be a rap artist, kind of similar to Ty Brazell or something like that. No, anything but really. I don't really know how maybe a pop R&B. I don't know if that's really accurate to describe it, but he's got a really good voice. He's got some good songs. I was impressed when I was listening to him. So I think he's gonna do really well at the concert, as long as his nerves don't get to him. Don't get nervous. And then also kind of closing out what they have listed for the pre-jam party is a duet of these two females, and the name of the group is called Renee. I'm assuming that's the name of both of these ladies. At the time I started listening to their songs, and I believe nothing has changed, but they only have a couple songs released on YouTube, and they're good songs. They're pop songs, kind of your typical radio pop songs, but I guess I was a little surprised that an artist with that small of a library is going to be on the tour. Not that they don't deserve to be there or anything. It just kind of surprised me. But then again, Megan Duke last year, she only did one song. That was Better Way, and it's a great song, but that was the only song that she did, and she didn't even use a band. She used a track. So I don't know. Maybe this is just a thing that they're doing for the tour now. I don't know. It's a little strange. I'm not sure how I feel about it, but I'm sure Renee will do fine. And I could see them, since they only have the two songs, I could see them easily opening the show, opening the pre-jam even, but they may not book it that way, but that's what I personally would do. But moving on to the actual show itself, the actual Winter Jam show itself, we're gonna have Austin French. I'm predicting Austin French is going to open the show up. If you went by the listing on the website, you would think maybe New Song, but I think Austin French is going to be first. Makes all the sense in the world. I believe he was on the tour a couple of years ago, kind of in a very similar role, and I think he'd be a perfect fitting for the opening of the show. New Song, I don't know if they'll be right after him. Probably, maybe not. Maybe they'll come after the next group, but New Song is going to do their typical New Song thing. I love watching them live, but their show, since I go to Winter Jam as often as I do, their set list has become rather predictable for me, because it's basically the same thing every time. Still though, if you have never seen New Song live, go see New Song live, because they are awesome. And they're the host band, as they are every year. Representing the rock genre this year, we have Disciple. And I'll be honest, I've been kind of wanting to check out their music for a while, but I've been hesitant because I was of the impression that they were in a harder category of rock than what they actually are. And when I finally got around and started listening to some of them, I was like, wow, I can't believe I've slept on these guys this long. They're actually they're actually pretty good. So they got a great sound to them. So I'm expecting them to do well and maybe even surprise a few people. Next up, representing solo female artist, we have Ann Wilson, and I have absolutely no problem with this whatsoever. You know, her song My Jesus is super popular right now. The only thing though, I haven't listened to her album as of yet. It's been on my to-do list, but I just haven't gotten around to it. So I don't know what else her set is really going to comprise of besides that song. She hasn't been around for very long, and she's really young. So who knows? Maybe in light of that, they could have maybe chosen someone else. But even still, though, I don't have a problem with her at all. So next up, representing rap, we come to what I personally believe to be the weakest part of this lineup. Representing rap, we have Andy Mineo. Now, honestly, you know, I'm not a big rap guy anyway. But when I do listen to Christian rap, Lecrae, KB, Triple, even Toby Mac, I would take any of those guys before Andy Mineo. I'm just not a big Andy Mineo fan. I've just never personally found his music to be very enjoyable. I'm not saying it's all bad, but it's just, ugh, you know. But, you know, that having been said, I know he's got a lot of fans, and, you know, maybe if you like rap, Christian rap, or whatever, you know, you might want to come check him out and see if you like his stuff. You know, everybody's tastes are different. Come out and see him. So that's kind of like all the lead up artists, and now so here's where I get a little bit confused, because on the poster it looks one way, and then when you look at the website at the list of artists, it looks another way, because on the poster it looks like there's co-headliners, kind of the way that it's done up. Instead of having one artist's picture bannered across the top, they've got, you know, two next to each other. And but then you go, like I said, then you go to the website and it's listed as if there's separate billing. So I honestly, I have no idea. But we have We the Kingdom and Jeremy Camp rounding out the rest of the artists this year. So let's talk about We the Kingdom. First off, you know, I've had the chance to see them live at a local church, and they are awesome. This church, Ann Wilson was also a part of this deal too. This local church during the pandemic was helping artists have a chance to be able to make money, since they weren't able to go out and tour. They were letting them come out and do lead worship and do special shows after services or whatever. All throughout the pandemic, there was a whole list of them, and We the Kingdom and Wilson were among the many that were invited to come out. And so I've seen We the Kingdom live, and they are really cool to see live. You know, I'd put them maybe a tier or two just below for King and Country and Skillet. You know, they have such great music, and and recently they released a new album as back as like September-ish, I think, maybe a little bit later. Left It in the Water is off of that album. It's a great song, and one that I actually plan on adding to the list of covers that I want to do. So that, you know, they have great music. I personally do not agree with them being top billing. I just don't. They're great, but they simply just have not been together long enough to justify them having a top billing for what has been one of the biggest Christian music showcases of the last 15 plus years. I'm sorry, and longer than that, really closer to 20 years. You know, I just don't agree with it at all. No disrespect to any of these guys at all, but again, it's just, I just think it's kind of a slap into the face to more veteran artists like a Jeremy Camp, who has been around a while. You know, Jeremy has been around since the early 2000s. And it's not like he puts on a terrible evening. I've seen Jeremy Camp before. Matter of fact, the last time The first and only time I've seen Jeremy Camp was the last time he was at Winter Jam back in like 2014 or whatever, and that was the first time that I saw Skillet. The album that it was just about to come out, had He Knows and Living Word on it. He spent the entire evening sharing songs off of that album with us, giving us a little bit of a preview, and it was a fantastic night. The dude's awesome, and it makes all the sense in the world for someone who is much more established like that to be the headliner. He's a long established artist. He could play both new songs that he's released, within the last few years or whatever, and also old ones like I Still Believe, which is still one of the best songs that he's ever written. He can still play old ones like that because of the movie that came out not that long ago. And if you want me to talk more about that movie in another video, I can. I've got some great stories behind that. Yeah, he's great to see live. It's just, that's just what I personally would have done, and I don't want to make too much of a big deal of this, but it just, I just think the man was done wrong if he is not at least co-headlining with We the Kingdom. And I get why you, in today's mindset, might choose We the Kingdom over him, because right now they are white hot, and I get that, but again, they just haven't been around long enough to have that spot. Maybe in another 5 to however many years, but not now. I'm sorry. But regardless though, it is a blessing because people like myself have been, as much as we love Crowder, Newsboys, and Skillet, and I love all three of those, especially Skillet. Notice the drum head in the back. I'm a diehard Skillet fan, but all three of those groups have basically been the primary headliners for the last several years, with the exception of like Matthew West back in 17, 18, whenever it was that he was there. It's been mostly those three interchanging, and it needs a fresh face. So whether it's We the Kingdom or Jeremy Camp being the headliner, we got what we asked for. We were asking for the fresh face, and we got it. For that reason alone, you should try to catch the tour this year. As for me, I'm still undecided on it because money's tight this year, like I said, so I wasn't able to purchase the Ultimate Jam Nation package that I did last year with the super awesome seating and doing the meet and greet and everything. I wasn't able to do that this year. I like to document the winter jams when I'm there in some form, some fashion. And after doing what I did last year with that whole documentary, it was so much fun to make. I want to be able to do that again. If I'm lucky, I've been at Winter Jams in the past where I didn't pay for anything like that, and I still got really close, good seats. If I'm lucky, I could do that again. But, there's no guarantee. So, and I feel like if I can't do it, I'm not sure if it's even worth it to go, because I know I would have fun. And it would totally be worth it to go just for me alone. But again, I want to go to things like that to be able to share my experiences with all of you. So in that retrospect, I want to deliver good, as good a quality videos as I can on a budget. Without all of that, I don't know if I can deliver quite the way. At least I know it would be subpar to what it was last year, and I'm always looking to improve, not regress. But if you haven't seen any of these artists before, especially We the Kingdom or Jeremy Camp, do yourself a favor and go see them. Seriously, go see them. You will thank me later. They're great. I can elaborate a little bit more in the comments if you want me to. I don't know but I've rambled on long enough. I don't know what this video is going to look like after I edit it down. Hopefully it's not too bad. But for now, I'm going to end it off. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hit the subscribe button and the thumbs up, because if you haven't done so already, because that really helps me out a lot. And if you have any friends who might be interested in any of my content, please tell them to check out the channel. And I'll just end this off by saying, may the Lord bless you and keep you. May he make his face shine upon you and be gracious to you. May the Lord lift up his countenance upon you and give you peace as we embark in this year of 2023 and all it has to offer us. In the name of Yeshua the Messiah, amen.